World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day to all of our listeners here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. This is World News in 5 and I'm your host, Steph Vicente. United States President Donald Trump says he has postponed a planned military strike on Iran that had been set for Tuesday, citing a request from key Gulf allies and ongoing diplomatic efforts. In a post on Truth Social, the BBC reports U.S. President Trump said leaders from Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates urge him to hold off as serious negotiations continue. He added that he has been told a deal favorable to the United States is likely, emphasizing that it must ensure Iran does not obtain nuclear weapons. However, President Trump warned that U.S. forces remain ready to launch a large-scale attack at a moment's notice if talks fail. Iran has not publicly responded to his latest remarks, though it has indicated discussions with Washington are ongoing through mediators. The conflict follows months of escalating violence, including U.S. and Israeli airstrikes and Iranian retaliatory attacks across the Gulf region. Meanwhile, tensions have disrupted global oil supplies and contributed to rising domestic criticism of the war, with recent polls showing declining public support for the president's actions. In other news overseas, Pakistan is working to keep diplomatic lines open between the United States and Iran as tensions rise. Al Jazeera reports Pakistani Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi traveled to Tehran for high-level talks with Iranian leaders as Islamabad tries to prevent negotiations from breaking down. During the visit, he met with Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian and other top officials, including Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, who has been leading Iran's talks with the U.S. U.S. officials have reportedly sent revised proposals through Pakistani mediators, and Iran says it has responded with its own plan as discussions continue. Still, tensions remain high following recent drone incidents in the Gulf, including an attack near a nuclear facility in the United Arab Emirates. Analysts say the exchange of proposals and increasingly sharp rhetoric from both sides highlight the fragile state of diplomacy and the growing risk that fighting could resume. And finally, an American citizen has tested positive for Ebola after being exposed while working with a medical missionary group in the Democratic Republic of Congo, according to United States health officials. The BBC reports the patient developed symptoms over the weekend and is now being evacuated to Germany for specialized treatment, as said by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Health authorities are also working to evacuate at least 6 other Americans who may have been exposed to the virus. The missionary group Surge confirmed that one of its doctors, Peter Stafford, contracted Ebola while treating patients at a hospital in eastern Congo. 2 other doctors, including Stafford's wife, were also exposed, but are currently asymptomatic and under quarantine. The outbreak in Congo has already caused at least 100 deaths, with hundreds of additional suspected cases reported. In response, the CDC has issued new travel restrictions, barring entry into the U.S. for foreign nationals who have recently visited affected countries in the region. And that concludes today's edition of World News in 5. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this has been Steph Vicente. Good day and stay safe, everyone.
World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.